So before SAP, so SAP was like introduced on in 1972, and before SAP enterprise, this ERP softwares are like known for their individual specifications. Okay, so here in this right side chart you can see uh, in the ERP, all the rounded ways you can see different products, right? Like production, human resource, planning, inventory management. So for each of these areas, there were different softwares and different ERPs, and mostly big companies would have created their own software to manage these areas separately. Okay, but what SAP did is that SAP came and SAP integrated all of these areas. Okay, so what happened? I will give you one example. Let's say if in Amazon, if they buy some goods from vendor to sell on their store, so what will happen? They will raise one purchase order to their vendors, and their vendor will send them some goods as return of uh, as against that purchase order. So when Amazon will receive goods in their store, the
Hmm.
the purchasing department will do one entry in their system saying that we have received the goods and our goods stock has raised from 0 to 100. Okay, so
Hmm.
every day they will receive such like hundreds of goods from different their vendors. Okay, and they will book those all those entries in their system, and at the end of the day they will print out all the entries and they will give it to finance department, and they will say today we received these many goods from these many vendors. You please book the invoice and make their payment. Okay,
Okay.
so then at the end of the day finance department has to record those transactions separately in their books of account. They have to create accounting entry and say that we received this much amount of goods from XYZ vendor, so we are payable to that vendor by XYZ amount. So again they have to book all those entries separately one by one for each vendors. Okay, so this is
Yeah.
how ERPs were before SAP. Okay, so purchasing department will do their separate entries, financial department will do their separate entries, and at the end of period or end of month, they have to merge. They have to like uh, consolidate both of the reports and reconcile the reports. Like whether my purchasing department is matching with finance department is matching with sales department and everything. So these were this is how the ERP world used to operate before SAP. Then when SAP came, the SAP's idea was that to integrate all of these different part of business into a single thing. Okay, so what
Hmm.
SAP did, what started happening in SAP, when you will post a goods receipt, when purchasing guy will post a goods receipt saying that I received the goods from this XYZ vendor, in the back end, one accounting entry will be automatically posted right on that point. Okay, the
Okay.
entry will be posted that we received goods from this XYZ vendor and we should pay this XYZ vendor. So that what happened now, finance department don't have to post separate record, the both record are attached to each other. Okay, and they
Yeah.
don't have to reconcile each other every month end, because yeah, system itself is doing that work, right? Because system is posting the transaction right on the time. There is not even a minute or hour delay in the transaction. So finance team can log in into their system and check the financial reports, live financial reports. They don't have to wait for the day to be end and all the entries get posted, right? So basically
Yes.
this is what SAP did. SAP integrated all of these different modules to each other. So whenever sales guy will post any sales entry, backend accounting entry will be automatically posted. Whenever accounting guy will make a payment, the purchasing guy will automatically come to know that this vendor is paid off. So this is what SAP did, and this is why SAP succeeded. Okay, no other software was able to do this thing that SAP did. And because of this, like hundreds of hours of work was saved for many big companies. Okay. And that's why when SAP got launched, immediately SAP started gaining share and SAP became the world's biggest ERP provider. So it said like that 98% of the money in the whole world will flow from the SAP. So that's how big SAP became. All the major companies uses the SAP.